Now let's start with today's last topic of the first chapter of real number, that is rational numbers and their decimal expansion. Now let x is equals to any rational number p by q, and it should be in standard form. That rational number must be in a standard form. Standard form means in the simplest form, such that the prime factorization of the denominator q only. I am talking only the prime factorization of the denominator q. It must be in the form of 2 to the power m into 5 to the power n, where m and n are non-negative integers. Then x has a decimal expansion which will terminate. Or in other way we can say that the denominator q of a rational number which is in standard form, it must be divisible by 2 or by 5 or by 2 and 5 both, but not any other number. Either it must be a factor of 2, either it must be a factor of 5, or it should be a factor of both 2 and 5, only these numbers. So let us consider the example. First example I am going to explain here. 17 by 8, which is already in the standard form p by q. The value of q is here 8, and 8 has a factors 2 into 2 into 2, which can be written as 2 to the power 3, as it doesn't have a factor 5. So we can write down into 5 to the power 0. So now 2 to the power 3 into 5 to the power 0 means this rational number's denominator is of the form, this form. That is, q is here of the form 2 to the power m into 5 to the power n, where m is here 3 and n is here 0. So the denominator of this rational number is of this form. So this rational number will terminate. It is a terminating rational number. Now we come to the next example, 35 by 50. As 35 by 50 it is not in the standard form. If we divide 5 7s are 35, 5 10s are 50. Now it becomes in the standard form. Now we write p by q. Here the value of q is 10. So 10 has factors 2 into 5. So here it has 2 to the power 1 into 5 to the power 1. It means that 10 can be divisible by both 2 and 5. So it is of the form of 2 to the power m into 5 to the power n. So here the value of m and n is 1. So this number, rational number, also terminates. Now we come to the next example, 7 by 25, which is in the standard form, so p by q. So here our p by q is here 25, and 25 can be written as 5 into 5, which is containing only 5 to the power 2 into 2 to the power 0. So here q is equals to, again of the format, 2 to the power m into 5 to the power n. So value of m is here 0 and value of n is here 2. It means that this number denominator can be divisible with 5. So this number is also a terminating number. Now next, fourth example, 11 upon 15. It is in the standard form, and here our denominator q is 15, which has a factors 3 into 5. It is divisible, 15 is divisible with 5, but it has a factor other than 2 and 5 as 3. So it is not equal to the format of 2 to the power m into 5 to the power n. Therefore, it is a non-terminating number. Non-terminating. As it contains a 5, but the other number rather than 2, it contains 3 also. It should contain only 2 or only 5 or 2 and 5. No any other third number must be there. Now the fifth example, P by Q. Q is here 6 and factors 2 into 3. Again here we can see that 2 is having a factor, 6 have a factor as 2, but it has again a 3. So therefore it is not equals to the form of 2 to the power n into 5 to the power n. Therefore this number is also a non-terminating number. Once again we can see that the standard form of a rational number and its denominator's factors must be of the form of 2 to the power m into 5 to the power n. If they are of this form, then only the given rational number will terminate. Otherwise, the rational number will be a non-terminating number. So, this finishes our first lesson. You can solve the questions from any refresher, and more questions you can solve it from any refresher guide as same. And in the next class I am going to start the second lesson, that is the polynomial, and which you have studied in class 9th also. So in class 9th polynomial chapter, all the algebraic formulas as a factor theorem, remainder theorem, all you just revise it so that it will be helpful for me also to start the second lesson, polynomial, in the next class.